everyone, I'm back with another video, and in today's video I'm just going to be talking about boosts as part of my new series that I'm starting, because I know as a beginner I know the game is hard, and yeah, there's a couple things I wish I knew when I started off. So in this series I'm just going to be talking about just things that I wish I knew and just tips and tricks to the game. And in today's video I'm going to be talking about boosts. So I'm just gonna go over them, and yeah. Okay, so we'll start off with infantry attack. So that's pretty self-explanatory. It's just it increases the attack of infantry and gives them more speed. Now, as the all boost is blue, red, and gold. Blue being the least effective, and gold being the best, and red in the middle. Infantry training. This is quite an important boost because it increases the training time, so that when you're starting a battle, you obviously want to get as many containers as you can. So using this boost is quite important, and you're at a very big disadvantage if you don't. Low levels don't really need this one, but if I were you, I'd boost. I'd use this boost. Also, pretty much everybody below level 10, use your blue boosts, because I didn't. I want to save them, but at my rank now, there's no point to me blue boosting. I have to red boost, and all my blue boosts are just gonna sit there now forever and just not gonna be used. So yeah, don't feel like you can't use your boosts. Next we have infantry scouting. So so it's quite self-explanatory. Really important. I'd use this one in every battle. I normally use red, except in tournaments, where tournaments are very important and they give you a lot of resources. So yeah, use your gold boosts on tournaments. Vehicle attack, same thing as infantry attack, is just for vehicles, increases their speed and damage. Vehicle production, self-explanatory, just increases their production time. For the production boost, just use it when you're making a lot of it. So if you have several vehicle factories, you want to use this one. Vehicle scouting. Now this is a pretty useful boost, more useful than you'd think. It's not so much actually for scouting, really, except I know when the sandbox is coming out, a lot of people are going to be scouting with coyotes, so then it'll be useful. It's actually pretty useful for coyotes because it increases their visual range and speed, as you can see at the right here. Coyotes are pretty good against assaults and heavy assaults, but if you use this boost, they're so fast that they can easily just dodge the assault grenades and heavy assault rockets. Because if you didn't know, assault grenades are actually the main damage, not actually the bullets. So yeah, it's also used pretty good when you are using JCP or Jaguar Chameleon Porcupine to move very quickly and see ahead for bombers, against bombers. Because I know at high ranks, Confederation loves their bombers. But as a Confed, this boost is very useful when your enemy just attacked and you want to counter-attack really quickly, but Confed units are very slow, so you want to use this boost too. Also useful for when you're scouting the base with a hammer or a coyote. Air attack increases their speed and damage. Self-explanatory. Pretty useful boost. Aviation production. Self-explanatory. For aviation units. aviation servicing, though, it increases repair speed and fueling, decreases the fueling time for fighter jets and bombers. So yeah, it's really useful. And yeah. Now I can get into Navy. You get naval attack, which is pretty useful. I have a lot of them because I won like 130 of them in a super container. So yeah, it's really useful. But it's not as useful as naval strike, and I'll get into that in a second. It's just naval production. Yeah, we got it. But naval strike, in large-scale naval battles where you just make a lot of alligators and a lot of Vikings and just go, when you're fighting, you want to use naval strike instead of naval attack, because naval strike, it increases the visual range and firing range, which is useful for when you've killed all their naval, like the Navy and their naval defenses, so you can reach their buildings on land or reach further. But it's also useful in battles because you get to fire a first couple shots before they do. Even if they're using naval attack, you'd still win. I've tested it, and yeah. Although, you can use naval strike to shoot them, and then move up closer, and then you can use naval attack. Wow, I'm lagging. IMBA Wi-Fi, huh? Okay, so now we get into common attack, which increases the damage of all units and speed. And this is pretty important. Not a lot of people know this. When you get to level 13, you can unlock super weapons, aka nuclear launcher or a space system. Common attack actually increases the damage of those too. Same thing with common defense increases your building's HP, and in the first 10 minutes it's anti-rush, so it gives you a lot more defense, as you can see on the right, and it increases building's firing range. But as I was talking, I stopped mid-sentence. Sorry about that. If I used gold common defense when someone was nuking me or space striking me, and they didn't use gold common attack, they would barely destroy any buildings. So yeah, it's important to know that. So if you know your opponent is boosting a lot, then you should probably use that boost. Common production increases the production time of all things, all units, and the super weapons production time. It's pretty useful for that. Note how, if you look here, the common production is for all units by 30%, but if you go up here to any of these productions, this one or this one, it's still 30. So it doesn't really matter if you use this one or another one. It's just that this one, if you're only making a certain type of one thing, then you're kind of wasting the boost. Now we get on to advanced supply. Very useful, very important. If you watch pro gameplay or like high level gameplay, you notice that this is their most used boost. They use this a lot because resources are actually the most important thing in the game. Advanced construction increases building upgrade and building speed. Yeah, pretty. Not that useful until you get to I think it's level 17, where you can build a shipyard in deployment time, but to do that you need this boost, gold. And yeah. Gold common recovery, so that... Oh, no, sorry, not gold, just common recovery. It increases recovery speed. It's very useful for when, especially when heroes are coming out, so that you can make your heroes strong again really quickly. It's also good for your fighters and bombers, because the aviation servicing isn't that good at helping them repair. Like, the repair speed is pretty slow, but this one is very, very nice. It increases their regeneration repair speed by 5 times, the gold one. Emergency measures. It's basically a common defense boost, except it gives you power, and it doesn't increase the range of defensive buildings, and it doesn't have the anti-rush thing where it's better in the first 10 minutes. But yeah, the gold and the red ones aren't that useful. Why am I lagging? They aren't that useful unless you've lost a lot of power, or you've, for example, just been space strike or nuke. But the blue one is very useful because it allows you to build your barracks and your supply centers before needing to build a power plant if you use it in the beginning, so you can get your infantry up and you can develop your base faster, basically. Reserve HQ, not the most useful boost. It basically gives you free HQ when it's been destroyed. The blue one only gives you a level 1. The red reserve HQ gives you a level 2 HQ, unless your HQ was only level 1. And same thing with the gold, it's for HQ 3. So if I was, for example, HQ 2, I wouldn't get an HQ 3, I'd get an HQ 2. But if I was HQ 4, I'd only get an HQ 3, because that's the maximum. Also, the HQ builds much faster. Reconstruction, bit more useful. This is basically just if you either survived a massive attack and half your base is dead, or if you just got nuked or space striked. It allows you to build administration buildings for free, and then depending on the levels, how much. So this one gives you 2, and this one gives you 6 for free. But you can't just use it and then just get 6 free. They have to be destroyed in the last 5 minutes. Also, I forgot to mention, same thing with both these boosts. You can only use once a battle, so use them wisely. Air raid warning. Ooh, this is very, very useful for resistance, because Confederation air is imbalanced, in my opinion. So yeah, it increases the range of anti-air towers and anti-air troops like porcupines and typhoons and stuff. And it does more damage to them, and you receive less damage. So even if you have no anti-air, it's still good. But you could then also use a common defense. And that's actually all the boosts. These ones are just the red ones, but you can buy them with credits. And here, note how it's actually more expensive if you buy it with credits than with gold. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next episode.